Hey there, MJ traders and investors. It's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Wednesday, December 6th, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing AYR, Air Wellness. We're going to be taking a look at the AYR chart. It is, spoiler alert, a lead sector bull, and we have a clear monthly uptrend, and it's a great example of what we want the rest of the MJ sector to follow, and the more names that confirm monthly uptrends, the better. We also have a daily bull flag target on watch as well, so I'll give my thoughts and opinions in terms of price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. But this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only. You should never ever buy anything based on anything that I say or anything that I write. Also, I don't own any AYR stock yet, but let me know in the comments below if you think I should be looking to add this to my MJ portfolio. I may look to add it over the next couple of months. Here in Canada, we should have another $6,500 worth of contribution room to our TFSA, or tax-free savings account. And a lot of that contribution room I'm going to be saving for MSOs and US MJ names. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or whenever I go live. Also, make sure to give us a follow over on X, which is formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. Also, there was some news today with regards to rescheduling. So we had 6 governors pushed Biden to ensure MJ is rescheduled by the end of the year. While that's hopeful, and I would gladly be wrong, I don't think that it's going to happen here before the end of the year. Again, I could be completely wrong on this and I would welcome it, but I just don't see that being the most likely scenario. Heading into the end of the year, it's not a lot of time. We've only got, 4 weeks left. And then it's going to be a holiday short month with all the holidays coming up. So it doesn't seem like the most likely scenario that they're going to get it done by the end of the year. Very slight chance that we get the DEA to come back and approve HHS recommendation. But you never know. We'll see what can be done at the executive level. But as we know, the DEA still needs to sign off, basically approve HHS's recommendation. Then it has to go to the Department of Justice, so the DOJ has to sign off on it, and then it's got to go through some other regulatory hoops and red tape, right? So I just can't see it happening, getting a response. We may get a response I would say at the bare minimum, we might get DEA response to HHS by the end of this month, but it's definitely not going to be rescheduled anytime soon, right? Maybe, if we're lucky, sometime in 2024. But I think the most likely scenario is that we get the DEA response to HHS's recommendation at some point in Q1, Q2, 2024, and then more than likely get it rescheduled in the back half of 2024, if not maybe early 2025. That's sort of what I'm expecting. And we'll see. Obviously, things can change, and we'll get a better idea of timeline once things start to progress. But like I said, it's all eyes on the DA right now. And the stock was up, one of the lead bulls today, but it's definitely one of the strongest names in the MJ sector in terms of the monthly time frame, which we'll look at here in just a moment. But we do have a daily bull flag that's on watch here. So we had our low, our high. We had a small, briefly consolidation. We consolidated briefly here on November 9th. But we didn't see much of a pivot there. So I wouldn't really consider that enough of a higher low. So if we just ignore that and we go from the low high to the high here, so 107 being our low, and then the high there at 222 being our high, then we started daily consolidation. And last time it was the low is 145 and we got as low as 140, so 5 pennies worth of consolidation. Whereas on this daily consolidation, we went from 203 all the way down to 177. So that is a convincing daily higher low, and it actually looks very similar to the S&P 500 and MSOS. If we bring up MSOS, you can see here it was the same thing: low, high, higher low, and higher high. Perfect bull flag continuation. And once we broke 702, we confirmed it. So if we go back to the AYR chart, and this is AYRWF on the OTC, you can see it's very similar with the low, high, higher low, and higher high. Once we broke 230, that confirmed the daily bull flag. And if we take the measured move, you go from the low there to the high, and then move it out to the 0.382 fib, and it's saying we could be targeting about $3.77 on this move. And then again, MSOS, sort of the similar scenario where we're targeting about 893, and from the high of this bounce, we're only about 18% away, just under. And then AYRWF, from its current level to its target from the high here, you're looking at about 50% of upside from here. So this is another name that's going to benefit greatly from Florida legalization. And as we know, we could see potential for Florida on the ballot in 2024. So I think this is why AYR is one of the stronger names. But like I said, I'm going to be adding this to my portfolio more than likely over the next. I may add it. I don't want to add it too soon. I'm looking to potentially add it into January, like I said, when we get that extra contribution room for the tax-free savings account, because that way any investments in there grow tax-free, right? And then, we still have tax loss harvesting into the end of the year here, but we'll see. I may have to buy it at higher prices. I'm okay with that. We're still extremely low compared to where we were in February 2021 highs and all-time highs, but we're looking at that daily bull flag target. And then also on the monthly time frame, I did want to bring up here, we had a nice support test, a nice support trend line that we're looking at here as well. And we have higher lows and higher highs, so in a strong monthly uptrend. So we had our low there at 57 cents, our high here at $1.39. Then we had a higher low there at 79 cents, and then a higher high, another higher low, and we're starting the monthly bounce. So if we can break above 329, we basically have no resistance until EMA 26, which is sitting there at $7.67. So this thing could absolutely rocket if we get over that 329 resistance. And like I said, this is a great example of what we want the rest of the sector to do, is confirm monthly uptrends with the low, high, higher low, and higher high, higher low, and looking for another higher high. If we bring up the MSOS chart, MSOS is lagging. It hasn't done so yet. And that's because there's only a few names that are in monthly uptrends. Like Cureleaf, for example, we have our low, high, higher low, and higher high. And then another double bottom there on that monthly consolidation, which was a great entry. I did a video on this earlier today, and that was over 56% of upside, playing off that double bottom. And it was crucial monthly support, because if we lost it, we were no longer in a monthly uptrend. So that was a great swing trade there. And then, like I said, AYR in a strong monthly uptrend as well. But a lot of our other names are not. Take a look at Cresco. So we still have our low, high, higher low, but we're missing the higher high. And then, TrueLeaf, I think, is another one. That's a bit of a laggard. Yep, low, high, looking for that higher low. And we're starting the monthly bounce now to give us that higher high. And then if we take a look at some of the Canadian names, like I said, Tilray, the leader there, obviously in terms of market cap, but we have our low, high, looking for a higher low now. We still need the higher high. And then CGC, same deal. We're starting monthly consolidation. Now we're starting the monthly bounce. We still need the higher high. So like I said, AYR, Cureleaf, definitely standing out as one of the stronger names. But because the rest of the sector and its peers are lagging and they're still looking for their higher lows and higher highs, that's why MSOS is still lagging as well, because it tracks all of the major US names, right? So we have our low, high, higher low. We're starting the monthly bounce now, so it's all about 988. If we break that, we're in a monthly uptrend, and the more names that do that, the better, right? And if we take a look at AYR here on the weekly time frame, we're having a bull cross of the MACD, the stochastic cross bullish quite some time ago, about a month ago, and we've got now three weekly candle closes over the 10-week moving average, going on our fourth. This is looking really, really good. Like I said, definitely one of the strongest names in the MJ sector at the moment, and we've got some runway there until the 100 weekly, which is sitting at $4.11, and then if we can get over that, we've got a lack of resistance until 1156, which is the 200 weekly. And we also had a golden cross that occurred back, that was right after HHS's recommendation to Schedule 3. And then we basically gave that whole move back. But generally, this is the first time that we've had a golden cross. If we just go back in the chart here a little bit further to the 5-year, you can see the last time that we had a golden cross with the 50 below the 200-day moving average and they were crossing was August of 2020. And then we had the death cross with the 50-day above the 200-day moving average. When that occurred, price went from about 25 bucks all the way down to half a dollar, right? So in the 50-cent region. And now we're seeing a golden cross again, and this time we're way more beaten down with way more catalysts on the horizon, right? We have Ohio, Pennsylvania, we have Florida potentially on the ballot for 2024. We have safer banking, uplisting in the NYSE and the NASDAQ, rescheduling, Germany, New York just opening its license to the MSO. So there's never been a more bullish time, in my opinion, in MJ. It's just not yet reflected in the price. And that's why I think we're in that suckers rally phase and that disbelief phase in the investor psychology cycle, where people think that this is just another suckers rally. And like I said, I've said this time and time again that, golden crosses are something that the very basic of technical analysts learn in the beginning. So it's very, very basic. It's a very common pattern that people watch. And generally when it happens, we don't go to the moon right away, right? Or even tomorrow, next week, or next month. Usually you have a pretty big shakeout before the big breakout, right? And I think this was just that big fake out before a massive breakout. And like I said, definitely one of the strongest names right now. And if we take a look at where we are to where our monthly resistance is, we're only 33% away from monthly resistance. And like I said, if we get over 329, then it's blast off time. And like I said, nothing nearby until 767 on the monthly EMA 26 period resistance. So this is looking really good. Like I said, the more names that can confirm monthly uptrends, the better. And everybody else in the sector is looking to AYR. They're looking to Curaleaf, and they're looking to do the exact same thing that Curaleaf and AYR Wellness have done, and that's confirm a strong monthly uptrend, followed by golden crosses. And then also what a lot of our names are lagging as well is weekly EMA 12 and 26 bull crosses. And we've already got that on AYR. We've already got that on Curaleaf, but a lot of other names are still lagging. And if we bring up, say, a name like, let's just bring up MSOS. You can see MSOS had its bull cross, but there's some names that are still lagging, right? So CL had its bull cross. Trueleaf never actually saw its bull cross, but it's seeing it now. And then a name like Tilray, TLRY, whoops, what's going on here, TLRY. You can see it had its weekly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, but CGC, one of the other leaders, still a ways away before it sees its EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. So like I said, if we can get like 80+% of names, Canadian and US names, seeing their weekly EMA 12 and 26 bull crosses, seeing their monthly uptrends confirm, and seeing their golden crosses on the daily time frame, then like I said, it's off to the races. And there's no telling how high this can really go, because as they say, the longer the base, the higher in space. And we've been in a brutal multi-year bear market, which is just, creating that accumulation. The greater the accumulation, the greater the expansion. And like I said, we have all the catalysts that we could ever want or need on the horizon. And it's just going to be dictated by, how many catalysts we get, and do they happen all at once, right? Do they happen one after the other? They happen all at once, or does it happen? Is it spread out, right? So that's going to dictate how high these names go. But personally, like I said, I'm going to be keeping AYR stock on my radar over the next few weeks, especially into January when I get that extra contribution room. But let me know in the comments below if you own it, if you think I should own it. If you are like me, if you're Canadian, are you waiting for a TFSA contribution room? Do you max your TFSA like me, and then you're just waiting for that extra contribution room? Always love hearing everybody else's game plans, but going to end it there, it's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.